Good morning, guys. In today's Facebook dailies over on the Hook and Hut Facebook fan page, I said that somebody had asked me if I was going to do up a series on how to sell on Etsy. So I was like, okay, if you want me to. So that's what I'm doing. Welcome to video one of how to sell on Etsy. Don't make the same mistake I did. That's your first. The number one thing is don't make the same mistake I did. And that's not recording your offline sales in your Etsy shop. Because your offline sales also belong there because that's where your shop is. And when they're buying from you, they're buying from your shop. So you want to record those sales on Etsy. And a reason for that, because it makes your stats go up. So let's say you're not making any sales on Etsy, you're making sales offline. Okay, well, if you're taking those offline sales and you're putting them on Etsy, then that's building your stats up. So when someone comes in and they go, oh, okay, I see people have been buying from them. And so that gives them encouragement to buy from you. But if they see where you have just a few items and no one's buying, or you have a lot of items and no one's buying, a little bit more hesitant about that. So what you want to do is you want to get those sales that you're making offline and get them into your store, because then they'll see that, oh, you're making sales, and that gives them confidence in you as a seller. Okay? So how are you going to do that? All right, well, you've got the Sell on Etsy app that you need to download to your phone. It's so important. This is how you get your sales up on your Etsy shop, offline sales. Because if you look here, let's let that hone in here, you'll see it in the, let's see. Yeah, that side. On the right-hand corner, you'll see there's a sell now. And the sell now gives you three options. There's a quick sell. Now, a quick sell is like, let's say some friends are over and they're looking at something that you made, but you're not selling it in your Etsy shop. What do? On the quick sell, you just snap a photo of it, and bada bing, bada bam, bada boom, the picture goes up. Okay, that becomes, an image from the sell part. Okay, and then you just fill in, follow the instructions, and do whatever it says. Okay, now if you sell, sell from listings, well, if there's something in your store that they like, you can flip through the listings and, oh, there it is, bam, hit it, and then just follow the steps. And it'll give you a choice. Do you want, is it a cash or is it a credit card? And I just did the credit card for the first time with my mom last month, earlier this month. And it was neat because I'd never done that one before. You don't need the swipe card, thing that people have, they keep waiting in line to get the swipe card. If you don't, if you're not getting at a craft show where you're getting loads and loads of, people coming in and you're wanting to use your Etsy app to record those sales and use the swipe, that's different. But if you're just getting a few people here and there ordering from you, you can take their card number, put in their card number, all the usual information that everybody, what they take from you. And then at the end, it'll ask for their signature. So it'll flip sideways and you're going to use your finger they'll use their finger to write their name. That would be a good reason to buy a stylus, a pointy tip stylus, not the little fat suckers. But if you can get a narrow tip stylus, have a narrow tipped stylus on hand for them to be able to sign their name. And that'll do it. And then you wait. Once it's been cleared, it'll tell you, and it'll go through. Now, the first time I did it, Mom's credit card didn't clear, which was stupid because Mom's credit card balance is 0. So, blah, blah. You do it again. Just run it through a second time. It's not a big deal. It'll work. So anyways, and if you use cash, it'll ask for how much cash did they give you, and then they'll deduct it. The app will deduct it and let you know what their change is. It works. And then at the end, it'll ask you, do you want to send them a receipt or not? and then you can put in their email address and you can send them a receipt. So it's just so nice and so simple to get your offline sales recorded in your Etsy shop, and that builds confidence. So anyway, so that's what you want to do with this little bugger. And something I've gotten behind on too with the app is I haven't been doing the shop updates like I should, and I really need to get back to doing the shop updates, because it did bring me in traffic, and that gets your stats up, and stats go up, then Etsy starts noticing, oh hey, look, you're live. So that helps as well. So that's my number one tip on selling on Etsy. Download the Sell on Etsy app. Make sure you get every single one of those sales recorded and put onto your Etsy shop to build confidence with future customers who are going to stop by to your shop. But most of all, don't give up. If you haven't made a sale in a few months, or you've had it more than a few months, guys, it takes time. It takes time to bring people in. I mean, we're competing against so many other people. Before I did open my Etsy shop, I spent a whole year selling on Facebook, not with Shopify. I wouldn't pay out the money for Shopify for anything. But I just sold off my regular Facebook page. And technically it was by accident. Because, a bit of background quickly here. I'm not going to tell you how many years I experimented on the internet trying to find a business that would work for me. But I have done software design. I've done game design. I've done cartooning. I've done product reviews, which I absolutely hated. I've done stuff called PLR, which is private label rights, and that's sort of like, it's similar to ghostwriting. What you're doing is writing up packages. Like I'd pick a topic on crochet, let's say, or on knitting, and a brioche on knitting, and I did a series of 8 articles on knitting on brioche, and then I'd put it in a package, so to speak, and I would sell those 8 articles, and then you would get to buy them from me and take credit for writing them. So that's what private label rights are. I wouldn't buy them. Personal opinion, I don't like them. Only because I've bought thousands of them, literally, and most of them that I've bought are not, vast 99% aren't worth their weight in pony poo. So, because they're poorly written and hastily written, just trying to get stuff out. And I didn't write mine that way. I gave people, when I wrote mine, I gave people the resource sheet of where I got all of my data from and stuff. But I guess it's college graduate versus those who didn't graduate from college, because we're still putting resources down here. We got bibliographies. Okay, so anyway, but none of it, I got to where I just hated all of it, because the income coming in from it just was barely anything. So I quit. And I just picked up my hook and decided, I'm going to do something fun for once. I'm sick of digital stuff. I want something tangible. And so I picked up my hook and decided I wanted to do something different. I was tired of making hats. I didn't want to make a scarf. And I hate doilies. So I went looking for something, and I discovered amigurumis. Oh, gosh. I mean, we all know how we felt when we first saw an amigurumi. I just went nuts. So I went on, I bought a book, and I started making them. And I was having so much fun and getting so much joy from it that I wanted to share it with my friends on Facebook. So I just started putting them up just to share the fun of it. I had no intentions of selling anything. All of a sudden someone said, oh, I love it. Can you make me one? How much would it be? And I wrote back, I was like, I'm not selling them. I'm doing this for fun. This is fun. And then I kept getting asked, and it was like, you know what? You may be onto something here. And so that's how I started selling my stuff on Facebook, because I was just posting things up for fun. I wasn't trying to sell. And as different things went up, I started getting orders, and there it was. And so when you look at my Facebook, when you look at my Etsy shop didn't start until a year later. And even then, I wasn't recording my sales. And that was a big mistake because I've got way more sales from my hook and hut business than what's shown on Etsy. And you can't change the stats on Etsy. So, you know, all the sales I made that I wasted by not recording them, you know, I hurt myself doing that. I really did. So that's why I'm encouraging you, don't hurt yourself by not recording them. I mean, it's crazy, you know. Record those offline sales, get them up there into your shop so you don't end up like me going, hey, I know I've got loads more sales than what you're seeing, okay? But, you know, what can you do? But if you're on here and you don't have an Etsy shop, just post your stuff on your regular Facebook page. You don't have to have a fan page. I don't think I make any sales from my fan page. I get everything off of my Facebook page. I just got a couple orders here lately. In fact, a friend posted a ponytail hat and said, hey, maybe you could make these. The next thing I knew, I got an order from it. And I hadn't even started making them. They just went on. They saw where he had posted this to, you know, try to get me some business. And it worked. And so then I posted my gloves that I made right here for myself for going out in the fields metal detecting, and I got a sale from my local mail lady that I went to school with. So, you know, I figure I'll put this here and she'll drop the money in the mailbox, and I'm recording it where? On my Etsy app, because I made another offline sale. And the person who ordered 2 ponytail hats, she's going to send someone out, her daughter out to drop off the money, and that's going to be recorded on Etsy. They're not going to go straight to my shop. They're just dropping off the money. Those are getting recorded on my shop. I know this last part is being a little bit rambly, but anyway, I hope this helps. If you don't have an Etsy shop, don't worry about it yet. Sell on Etsy, build up an interest, take your time, because it's better to start a business off slow and get a lot of mistakes taken care of and out of the way now, rather than be swamped with orders and realize that you can't fill those orders because you put too high of number counts on, you know how we on Etsy you can put the number of orders down, or how many items are available. You know, if you've got like 100, some crazy person may get on there and say, oh, I've got like 50 nieces and nephews. I want 50 of them, and I want them by a certain time, and there's no way you can do it. You know, you can kill yourself doing things like that. And then they'll go off and they'll insult you on Twitter, Facebook, and any place else they can find. So enjoy the learning process. Start slow, enjoy the learning process, and just don't worry about it, because things will pick up for you if you don't give up. And you keep trying, and you're putting your stuff out there, and you're getting your name out there on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Pinterest. Do start a business Pinterest account, which we'll get to. But anyway, so that's it for today. Download that Etsy app. Start recording all your sales. Make sure that when you leave home, you go out, and you're always wearing something you made. Always have business cards with you so you can hand them off to people, because those business cards are your walking billboards. We'll get to those in the next video. So we'll see you tomorrow, and have a great day, and happy selling.